Hey everybody, Psyche here. So I really need everybody's help. If you all could donate to my GoFundMe account so I can get to the hearing for Augustus on February 10th, I would be greatly appreciative of it. He has messaged me that I need to be there, and I posted that message on my Instagram so people can see this is a real thing and I really need help. And if anybody, all of his people, can just pitch in a little bit and help me out and get me there so that he can have my testimony at that hearing, then he could have all of these charges dropped against him. So right now it is very important. I really need your guys' help. I'm going to post the link down below, and I hope that you all can, just, even if it's $5, it really, really helps. Tickets, I need to buy my airline ticket in the next few days, and they're already about $1,000. So, this trip might cost me the whole $1,600 that I was trying to raise for 2 trips now that it's so close to the hearing date. But it is very important that I am there, and I need your guys' help. And anyone who supports Augustus, please support me so that I can get him out, help get him out so that I can help him. You guys, I'm panicking right now. Oof, and it's cold. Okay, but so help me on my GoFundMe, and I will keep you all in the loop and updated, but I need to get this trip planned out and situated within the next few days, okay? It's gonna be Sunday through Tuesday trip, and I need a hotel for 2 nights. I need Ubers, I need food, and I need to get there. So please help me get to him, all right? Thank you all. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Psyche, aka Emily Phillips. I just doxed myself. No, I'm kidding. Kind of, but not. So we have to begin again with the GoFundMe thing. And I mean, some people just can't not be evil. As we have learned with the enemies of Augustus. So we're starting again, we're doing it again, whatever. So my real name is Emily Phillips, legal name. I don't ever go by that. My family doesn't even call me Emily. They call me Psyche. And my grandparents, my dad, still call me Emma Sue. But I mean, I was born Emily Suzanne McCarter. So there you go. Follow the trail back. I don't care. I don't care at this point. I really don't care. All I care about is being there for Augustus, and that is what he wants. So I need to be close to him in case there is a change in the schedules again. As you all know, he was supposed to have a hearing this coming Monday, February 10th, and that was the last minute changed by the public defender, I guess. So that's going to be on Friday. I don't know if I will have to appear on Friday. I'm not sure what's up yet. We're waiting to see that information on Monday. I don't know. Whatever. But so I'm going to need help getting there still. It doesn't matter what any one of these other people say. Augustus wants me there. I need help getting there. And if I'm going to need to be there for Augustus when he gets out. Anna obviously is not gonna be there for him. I will be. And I need you all to help me be there for him. Helping me helps him. And, it's no different than him running for president. It's actual legitimate. I have used on my GoFundMe, I've used my real name and everything. My family members are helping me do all of this. I don't have a bank account. That's one reason that I need help. I prefer to use cash. I don't use the banking system. So I needed help, and that's mainly why I have a team. You can read about James on the GoFundMe also. He definitely introduced me to Augustus. I will be able to, if I have to, drive to the hearing on Friday. Even if I'm not called to the witness stand, I will be there. Like, come hell or high water, I'm going to be there.
County tonight, a well-known white nationalist and ex-Florida Senate candidate will spend the foreseeable future in a jail cell. Police say he is accused of kidnapping his own family. And today in court, he told the judge he's the one owed an apology. Fox 46 was the first to tell you about the arrest of 36-year-old Augustus Invictus last week. Just hours ago, he went before a Rock Hill judge.
I'm absolutely innocent.
Police tell Fox 46 he got into a fight with his wife and held her at gunpoint and forced her and their children to go with him to Florida. They all managed to escape and get help.
As soon as this is over and everybody finds out what happened, I will accept Detective Beach's apology magnanimously. All I look forward to is going home with my family.
But the judge wasn't buying any of it.
There is going to be a no-contact order, so you cannot contact the victim by any means.
Florida deputies caught up with Invictus in Melbourne.
He thought it was a place that he could hide without being found.
In 2017, he gave a speech at the alt-right rally in Charlottesville, where violence broke out between political demonstrators and one person was killed. But a year earlier, Invictus, a self-proclaimed libertarian, ran for Florida Senate and also said he sacrificed a goat and drank its blood in a religious practice.
And did you, in fact, sacrifice a goat?
That happened.
But for now, the only thing this self-proclaimed white supremacist will be sacrificing is his time in a jail cell.
As of right now, your bond is denied. All your bonds are denied.
Now, Invictus is scheduled to be back in court next month.
Ich frage euch, wollt ihr den totalen Krieg?
Good evening, friends, and welcome to Guerrilla Radio, the official podcast of the Revolutionary Conservative. Welcome to Guerrilla Radio 3.0, everyone. I have with me tonight our esteemed producer, Dr. Reddington, who is not just going to be producing this evening, he's going to be joining me to discuss the campaign platform. The second tier are what we call the 18 points, or the Articles of Reconstruction. These are specific policy proposals that we feel would restore America to the republic it was intended to be. Dr. Reddington, are you ready to discuss the 18 points for these people?
Absolutely. And we got some good questions coming in already as well, so can't wait to answer those afterwards.
Did anybody ask if in our dictatorship women are going to have the right to vote?
Not yet, no.
Okay, let's just put that out there for everybody. Number 12, repeal the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That's all there is to say about that. It's good, bad for business, you know, that act. Number 13, territorial reparations paid to all living descendants of slavery that took place on U.S. soil. The territory shall not be landlocked and shall be a large enough body of land to sustain the new settler population. The newly established territory shall no longer be a part of the United States or subject to its laws or protections. In other words, all blacks in America who are descendants of slaves, who want their 40 acres and a mule, this is your chance, because we are making that campaign promise. And I promise you, we will give you that state. You can have your black ethno-state. It's all yours. Moreover, reparations, monetary reparations, will be paid to said descendants with the $3 billion per year presently paid to Israel in foreign aid. In other words, all of this money we are gratuitously giving to Israel every single year. We give them $3 billion a year. We're going to stop that foreign aid, and we're going to give it to American blacks, the descendants of the slaves. I think that's a fair trade, and I'd like to publicly thank Mr. Patrick Little, because that was his platform when he ran for United States Senate in California. So bravo, Mr. Little, and thank you for that. Number 14, repeal the 14th Amendment. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Number 15, repeal the 15th Amendment. Maybe same for that. And then we're going to repeal the 19th Amendment. 19th Amendment gave women the right to vote. So in other words, you put all of these repeals together and you get only white male citizens have the right to vote. Furthermore, only white male citizens are eligible to own real property within the country. So how about we go to part 3 of this shindig, huh?
Awesome. You ready for questions here?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's see. I think a lot of these have been addressed as we went through, but I just wanted to write them down as the questions were coming in. So let's see. Do you have a plan for where will the Happas go?
What exactly is a Happa? I missed a lot of the alt-right culture with the young kids.
Happas are mixed breeds.
Is it like Asian mixed breeds though? Or
normally that's the way I've always heard
it.
A
crash course in alt-right terminology.
That's the way I've always heard as a Happa is an Asian and European mix. So specifically, the guy asked the question about 20 times, and then he asked down there. He asked specifically about like Keanu Reeves and Tim Pool. So I'm thinking
Tim Pool's a Happa?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
I did not know that. I don't like Tim Pool because he called me a white supremacist. But at this point, that's water under the bridge because he's probably right anymore. I don't like Tim Pool because he called me a white supremacist. But at this point, that's water under the bridge because he's probably right anymore.
Well, Augustus Invictus, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Craig.
Let's start by giving you a chance to respond to some of Wiley's claims. First, did you really sacrifice a goat in a pagan ritual?
I am a pagan. I have been since I was 13 years old. The practices might seem alien, but so does drinking Christian blood every Sunday.
And did you in fact sacrifice a goat?
That happened. It was an act of thanksgiving after surviving the wilderness back in a pilgrimage in 2013.
Wiley also claims that you vowed to start a second American Civil War. Did you?
I think the Civil War is already coming. I think we all talk about it inside our living rooms, but it is still impolitic to say it in public.
Should there be a second American Civil War?
It's like my father always said growing up, America needs another Great Depression. It would teach people the meaning of life again. And if we don't have a war in this generation, then I think we're all for the worse.
You state that you were hunted at one point by the FBI and banned from your school. What was that all about?
I wrote an open letter in 2013 renouncing civilization. It's the same thing that all monks do before retreating into the wilderness to find the spirit. Apparently that upset some people who called the FBI.
Do you still renounce all of these things?
Yes, it's a spiritual renunciation. And you never go back from that.
I'll give you closing thoughts. If you had that venue and you had a few brief moments to speak to the American people unfiltered, what would you say?
I would tell the American people that governments should be afraid of the people. And if you are not a threat to your government, the government is not going to listen to you. So the only thing that you can do to change the government is to arm yourselves and be prepared for war.
So when you speak of total insurrection, you're speaking of violent insurrection.
I am.
Welcome everyone to our Confederate rally today.
We are here for a rally in defense of our Confederate memorial here that they are trying to remove from Lake Eola.
And I do not appreciate some Black Lives Matter agitator coming down from New York to tell us what to do with our monument. All right, welcome everyone to our Confederate rally today. We are honoring our Confederate veterans. My name is Augustus Invictus. Some of y'all probably know me as a former Senate candidate, or the rabble-rouser, or the guy from the Libertarian Party who drank goat's blood, or some other sensational story. But actually, this is my hometown. Thank you, Mr. Palliser. Before we have our next speaker, I'd like to point something out to everyone. And that's the fact that we are again at war, and that's something that makes everyone a little uncomfortable, because you don't like to think about bloodshed in the streets, and you don't like to think about revolution against the government, and you don't like to think about the war of secession, or that those things are not a thing of the past, but that we are there right now. The federal government knows that we don't want these monuments removed. The federal government knows that we don't want Common Core taught in our schools. The federal government knows that we want to hold our own responsibility for our children's education. They know these things, they just don't care. And it doesn't matter how much you petition them. It doesn't matter how many votes you cast. It doesn't matter whether Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump is elected to office. The fact is the deep state remains, the federal government remains, and it is a monster that sooner or later you're going to have to fight. And I don't mean in ballot boxes. I mean literally, with rifles,
just as our founding fathers did. So it's something to prepare for. If you are not preparing for war, then you're a fool.
Like I was talking with somebody from CBS National News today, and they wanted to talk to me about the Charlottesville event. I have already said I'm going to execute people like you if I come up. Media is vermin to me.
What's up, folks? Master Chim is in the house. I'm Justin Garcia, aka Master Chim, and this is the Pressure Project podcast. On the live video feed, I have with me good friend of the podcast, and attendee of the Charlottesville debacle, which is I'm calling it, Mr. Augustus Invictus. Augustus, say what's up to the listeners.
What's up to the listeners? I'd also point out I was also one of the lesser organizers and one of the main speakers for the event too. I wasn't just there for the beer. All I can say, man, is I don't understand why anyone would think that the mass media is going to portray them fairly. Like I was talking with somebody from CBS National News today, and they wanted to talk to me about the Charlottesville event, and they wanted to embed with me, just like Vice did. They wanted to come and follow me around for a couple of days, and I'm explaining to him because he's asking my ideology. And, how alt-right am I? And I'm like, well, actually, I'm like the only speaker that was left on the bill that wasn't, just like I said at the beginning of the show. And he's like, well, if you're not actually alt-right, I guess my editor's probably not going to want me to embed with you. I was like, whoa. No, I don't think you understand what's going on here. No one is embedding with me. I have already said I'm going to execute people like you if I come up. Media is vermin to me. You're not embedding with me on any day of the week, no matter what you think my ideology is. And he's like, oh, so you hate talking with me? I was like, yeah. The only reason I'm talking to you is because the organizer, whose name, he's a private citizen. I was like, because this guy I find to be a respectable person. He wanted me to talk with you, but there's no way in hell that you are ever filming me.
What's up, Captain? Or what? They call me the Commie Slayer, and for good fucking reason. So there are children here, so we'll tone down the profanity.
Somebody go get a helicopter and take this piece of shit up in the air and drop him. We've had enough of your fucking bullshit. You go back up the fucking steps to talk that soul and it's nonsense. So this is what you should be doing. Not fighting amongst yourselves. We're fighting against the communists. Free rides for commies. Thank you for that sign, my man. You should not be fighting amongst yourselves. You should be fighting with the media. All these fucking leeches. These rats. They come here with their cameras to film you. Because you are the new attraction. You are entertainment to them. You sell. This is not a movement for entertainment. This is a movement for revolution. So get yourselves armed. Make your blacklist of the media. And buy a fucking helicopter. Thank you.
That is truly revolutionary, but I'm going to let him tell you about that. He has his hands full, but he still paves the way, and many follow. He is a husband and father, an attorney, a politician, writer, and philosopher, and he is master commander of the Alt Knights and a proud boy. Please welcome Augustus Invictus.
So what's up, Texas? Yeah! It's my first time here in Austin. So thank you all for having me. So, while we're out here, let's do a few cheers, huh? Like, death to King George!
Death to King George!
Hang the redcoats!
Hang the redcoats!
Yeah, because we won. We won that baby. And look at us now. We are $20 trillion in debt.
Every text that we write is logged by the government. Every purchase we make is recorded. Every aspect of our lives is regulated by the federal government. Every remnant of our heritage is slated for annihilation by cultural Marxists. And on top of all of this, we are expected to bring in tens of thousands, even millions, of foreign nationals to our soil to take care of them and educate them, to house them and give them health care, and to change our way of life so that they feel more at home. So yes, we did win the revolution, but to what end? A wise man once said that the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. He was one of those revolutionaries. And is he not rolling over in his grave right now, as we speak? Should our ancestors rise from the grave this Independence Day, would they look at us and would they be proud of what their descendants have accomplished? Or would they be so disgusted that they turn right around and run back to the house of Hades? Revolution is not some distant pipe dream. It is your patriotic duty as an American. This land is the birthright of our children, and yet we forfeit it to the banks, to foreigners, to the New World Order. This land was conquered by our ancestors, and yet we hand it over freely, too weak to defend it. This land is our land, and if you want to keep it, then you must throw off the yoke of the leftists, the globalists, the international financiers. So let's put this in different terms. Death to George Soros!
Yeah!
Death to the Clintons! Death to Janet Yellen and the members of the Federal Reserve Board! Death to the Antifa and the communists, the corrupt politicians, the sellouts and the traitors. Hang them from the lampposts. And if not for your sake, then for the sake of your children.
I don't like Tim Pool because he called me a white supremacist. But at this point, that's water under the bridge because he's probably right anymore.
A man who has white nationalist ties is charged by local authorities who say he put a gun to his wife's head at their home in Rock Hill and forced her and their children to drive to Florida. Augustus Invictus was arrested back in December and extradited from Florida to South Carolina. Now, in 2016, Invictus ran for the U.S. Senate in the state of Florida, and in several interviews clearly expresses controversial views and ideologies.
One page reads, "I decide what is worthy of existence. I decide who lives and who dies. I am to judge humanity and its fruit."
Rock Hill detective Matthew Beach says these words were written by Augustus Invictus in his journal. Authorities say Invictus wasn't just threatening on paper, but in real life and against his own wife.
He pulled out my hair by the handfuls. He's torn off my clothes, ripping them. He violently choked me on multiple occasions.
The victim, who asked not to be identified, says Invictus pointed a gun to her head after he suspected she was unfaithful to him and then made her drive to Florida with their children. Detective Beach says the victim's life is now in danger because she reported the abuse. Witnesses testified that women have filed police reports in the past against Augustus Invictus.